before the Underwood, Mahogany saddled with 2 lead bags instead of 1. Luckily, Greg Hall noticed the error and reweighed.
The Victoria Amateur Turf Club reduced the race from 2,000 to 1,800 metres. Whatever the distance, the race was
on past the 800 metre mark. Runyon about a half to 3/4 in front of State Tars second. Paris Lane 2 lengths back third on the inside of Mahogany. There's been little or no change in the order. Back behind those, Jeune starting his run at the 600 metre mark, coming into it 3 wide now. Then our Pompeii, Seattle 2 lengths to Darkzar, the Phantom Chance, Young Pirate. At the turn now, Runyon tackled by State Tars, Mahogany just behind them. So too Paris Lane coming into it, and then Jeune. State Tars turned in front of Runyon. Mahogany coming at them quickly. Paris Lane pocketed. Jeune on the outside at State Tars, grabbed by now Mahogany. Jeune in turn over the top, and then Paris Lane. Mahogany under the whip, tackled by Jeune in the last 100. Jeune and Mahogany fighting it out neck and neck from Paris Lane. Jeune grabbed the lead. Paris Lane after Jeune, but Jeune will win it. Jeune first, Paris Lane second, Mahogany a weakening third. A Caulfield Cup start might now be cancelled. The Cox Plate, Melbourne Cup and Japan Cup, the aims for this impressive import.
To be honest, I thought Mahogany had too many things in his favour today from the barrier, and I didn't think we could give him a start at weight for age. And
Jeune very exciting at 7-2. Paris Lane was certainly unlucky, and a cloud now hangs over Mahogany's immediate future.
Stage of this next race. I loved the Underwood yesterday.
Chiropractic tested, but gee, that's a good horse. I think he'll miss the Caulfield Cup now and go into the Cox Plate, and so he should.
Second horse was all right, wasn't he, Paris Lane?
Yes, he's the reigning Caulfield Cup favourite.
In the Rupert Steele, Hariba was out to atone for a below-par effort in the Vic Health Cup, and the Flying Machine from Mornington did just that. Over on the flat side, Hariba's taken the lead and darted away now from You Remember. Oh, he gave him a kick and he exploded away, Hariba. And this brilliant sprinter comes away and wins the Rupert Steele. Hariba by 3 lengths on the line. Second placing went to You Remember, Simon Stad third. Trainer Ken Steele.
But Hariba swept to the lead. Hariba in front of You Remember. He's racing away. Simon Stad down the outside. It's all Hariba. A dazzling speed performance by Hariba, wins brilliantly by 3. You Remember second. Simon Stad third. And Hariba is unbeaten in 3 at Flemington. Connect.
Number 1, Rough Habit, the Kiwi, is $6.50. Durbridge is out. The Phantom Chance, $26. Schwan, a hot favourite, $2.50 on the TAB in Victoria. And Paris Lane, the best back to beat the favourite, is showing $4 metres. Lights on, off to a good start. Rough Habit and the Phantom Chance is starting to gain ground around the outside of Air Seattle, being followed by Tenor and Our Pompeii, and a length and a half to Rough Habit, coming up in the direction of the 700 metre mark, and Sarah Sun coming back to the field, only a length to Paris Lane. A half length further back then is Jeune, and they're followed closely by the Phantom Chance. Just in behind them Air Seattle, Rough Habit, and further back in the field then is Tenor, followed by Our Pompeii as they near the home turn. Paris Lane has taken the leader, rounding the turn at the 400 metre mark by a half length to Jeune, coming at him as they straighten up. Sarah Sun has beaten down the outside the Phantom Chance, followed by Air Seattle in the straight, and Jeune raced up quickly on the outside to take the lead from Paris Lane, battling on well past the 200 metre mark, and Jeune just in advance of Paris Lane, who's fighting on gallantly on the inside. Paris Lane on the inside, and Jeune and Rough Habit. Look at old Rough Habit flying home. Jeune the leader. Rough Habit's going to beat them both. Rough Habit a huge run. Rough Habit by a neck to Jeune, ahead away third, Paris Lane. Then the Phantom Chance.
And then Sarah Sun, Air Seattle. Jeune took the lead at the 200. Paris Lane fights back well on the inside. They've raced away now from Rough Habit, finishing well. Jeune and Paris Lane, nothing between them from Rough Habit, the Phantom Chance. Paris Lane and Jeune, with Rough Habit coming at them. Paris Lane, Jeune, Rough Habit, Rough Habit! What a win! Rough Habit has got up to win in the last 2 strides. He's 8 years old, raced around the world, had a year off the track after an operation, but still knows how to wow them.
I'm rapt for the horse, you know, because he's probably underrated horse, really, and they write about all the great horses around, but he's probably one of the greatest.
He's a genuine.
And Paris Lane and Rough Habit are now equal favourites in the Caulfield Cup at 4-1. A decision on a start for Rough Habit.
Beating the Caulfield Stakes, it was a fantastic race. Look, I must query our weight for age horses. Dear old Rough Habit, 11 Group 1s I know, but this is only his 2nd win in Victoria.
He's the 3rd highest.
But he's not an A+ horse, Keith. He's not a... You wouldn't call him a top-class weight for age horse.
Bruce, look at this magnificent horse. Look at him. Look, 8-year-old. Look at this finish. Have a look at him.
You wouldn't put him in the class of a Rubiton or a Vo Rogue or a Bone Crusher.
Yes, yes. I'll put him in the sun. Look at him now.
Yeah, so would I, Max.
Look at him,
right.
look at him now. $3 million.
In a supportive vein.
I don't think the weight for age horses are much chop.
Oh, that's not fair to Rough Habit. saying.
And Bint Masqué a hot favourite, but the filly looked all at sea early and virtually no chance when they straightened. Bint Masqué starting to fly home on the outside now. It's Eleanor in front. Bint Masqué finishing at 100 miles an hour, but the post will be too close, I think. Eleanor, and I think may have just... But to the surprise, but the filly looked all at sea early and virtually no chance when they straightened. Bint Masqué starting to fly home on the outside now. It's Eleanor in front. Bint Masqué finishing at 100 miles an hour, but the post will be too close, I think. Eleanor, and I think may have just... But to the surprise of many, Bint Masqué got the photo by the barest possible margin. Lee Freedman was delighted with the way she overcame difficulties to score.
She's just got so much class. I mean, you don't see too many horses pick up 5 lengths in 200 metres in a 1,000-metre contest where they've broken the course record or equal the course record, so it's been a sensational performance.
From the top, Rough Habit at $12, Air Seattle at $12, Our Pompeii $26, $12 It's All in Fun to $8, Paris Lane $4.80, Tenor $11, Bullwinkle $10.
And the leader, Gold Sovereign. It's a truly run cup. He's 2.5 in front. It's All in Fun as second. 3 lengths further back is Alcove. 1.5 lengths then to Gossips, followed by Oppressor. 1.5 to Paris Lane. 2 lengths further back is Tenor, who's following Paris Lane. Pompeii, hear that bell a long way back on the inside. 2 or 3 lengths further back in the field. Then came Sari Club and Navy Seal. Umpala and Rough Habit is last of all. At the 600, Gold Sovereign by 2 lengths. It's All in Fun. 2.5 to Alcove. Oppressor the inside, hard ridden. Here's Paris Lane. Paris Lane starting his run around the home turn. Tenor guess off the fence coming home. Fraternity out wide staking a claim, and Bullwinkle with a run. Out wide then came Our Pompeii. It's All in Fun led the field into the straight. Paris Lane after him from Alcove. Then came Tenor. It's All in Fun grabbed by Paris Lane and Alcove. Paris Lane at the 200 took the lead from Alcove. Tenor down the outside, but Paris Lane broke away. He's home. Paris Lane's cup. 2 lengths Alcove and Tenor, and Paris Lane wins it. 1.5 lengths to Alcove. Third is Tenor.
Paris Lane's...
Air Seattle, Umpala is back second last with Rough Habit. Into the straight now, It's All in Fun. Hit the front, here comes Paris Lane and Alcove. At the 200-metre mark, and Paris Lane on the outside goes up to It's All in Front and Alcove. Damien Oliver's driven the favourite to the front, Paris Lane. It's all over, I'd say. He's dashed away from Alcove and Tenor getting to third, but it's Paris Lane's Caulfield Cup. Paris Lane wins 1.5 lengths Alcove.
He only started racing late last year, and Oliver had ridden the race of his life.
There's only one more to go. Melbourne Cup, and I'll be pretty happy with winning that.
A course record win by Paris Lane, and it couldn't have gone better to script. And the only black spot for Damien Oliver, a $200 fine for gesturing to other riders as he went over the line with his whip. 3-to-1 whip. 3-to-1 favourite for Paris Lane. He's been penalised 3 kilograms for the Melbourne Cup. Will carry 55.5 on the first.
Favourites Cup. It was a terrific cup, Max, wasn't it?
I don't think I've seen a horse have a race won, a major event won so far from home, Keith, and I've never seen a more cleanly run Caulfield Cup. You've seen kilo penalty lead. Do you think that's too much for Paris Lane in the Melbourne Cup?
No, I like penalties. Honestly, like horses getting penalties because they usually win with penalties. It's usually an assessment of how well the handicapper thinks they're going at the time.
So we won't cry for double.
All right, Paris Lane on the...
Oliver and Freedman did it again as the mighty Grace Scalacci made a dynamic return to racing in the sprint.
Remember, and down the outside, Scalacci coming with a run. Hero Win Barcara from Scalacci further out on the track. Hero Win ducking in. Scalacci's going to get up, I think. Yes, he will. Yes, Scalacci.
Scalacci was given a grand ovation and has now won 14 of his 25 starts.
5s to 8s, as you remember, was hot favourite. On the outside is the old grey Scalacci starting to close on them, but Hero Wind hit the lead. Scalacci, Bells of Era coming home, but old Scalacci! What a great comeback, he's won it.
We've worked hard at him, though. He came back in and he's been in for a long while. Done a lot of work with him. Try and get him back. Big thrill. Have a wonderful day, mate. Thanks, mate. I'm doing that.
Archie hadn't raced since April this year, easing from 5s out to 8-to-1, scored an emphatic win. But Freedman's big day wasn't over.
For BMW Cox Plate. One Rough Habit is still showing around $40. Number 2 Durbridge is into $8. Number 3 Solvit into $15. Number 4 is $1. Number 5 Juan is coming from $5 to $4.50. Number 6 Reading is still at $6.50. Number 12 Tristalove at $6.50. Number 13 St Covent at $7.50 out to $8. And Dane Wynn is showing at $30.
Racing. Reading snap away quickly down on the inside with Durbridge. St Covert began brilliantly. Solvit didn't begin all that fast, sitting back early, and St Covert's going very fast, will easily be in front at the post the first time. St Covert flings away Rough Habit. Now Solvit goes to the front, out to the 1400, and the New Zealander Solvit in front, a length and a half to St Covert. Matthews just let him get back second last or third last. Behind him is Tenor and Rough Habit on the rails, going past the 1,000, and Solvit the leader, 2.5 St Covert, a length and a half to Durbridge. Snap having a lovely run forth the inside. Danewin trapped out, and then it's all in fun. One further back is Reading over on the inside of Soho Square, then Trista Love, Zern, Alcove, River Verdon well back from Tenor, and last on the inside Rough Habit. Solvit the leader down the side, 2 lengths to St Covert. Durbridge striding into it. Snap over on the inside, and then Danewin under pressure. They're followed by Reading, hard-ridden, making ground, and then Soho Square, it's all in fun, drops out. Zern to the outside, well back is Trista Love. River Verdon coming up towards the turn, and Solvit is the leader by a length and a half. Durbridge rushes up into second placing, followed then by St Covert. Here's Reading starting his run on the outside. Solvit leads into the straight from Durbridge, and Reading coming on strongly, and then St Covert. Solvit the leader now from Durbridge, and Reading on the outside. Still Solvit has it, 100 metres to go. Reading, and here is Alcove now, and Rough Habit is diving through. Solvit still in front. Rough Habit, no! Solvit a nose to Rough Habit, a mighty run second. Reading is close up third, I think, just in front of Alcove. Then Danewin.
A try. 1.5 then to Reading going up to 5th. Then Danewin, Soho Square, it's all in fun. Zern, hard-ridden, River Verdon's gone past him. Then Trista Love, and further back in the race, Rough Habit and Tenor. And well back is Alcove. Solvit the leader up to the bend. Durbridge after him on the outside. They're followed by Reading into the clear now, coming with a run. At the 200, Solvit 2 in front. Reading and Durbridge after him now, followed by Alcove. Solvit the leader. Reading wearing him down, getting a run through Rough Habit. The mighty Rough Habit after Solvit. Solvit in front. Solvit. Solvit wins a nose, Rough Habit. Reading is third, I'd say, from Alcove.
And Moira Murdoch, only the second lady ever to train a Cox Plate winner. Solvit easing from 6s out to 10 to 1.
It's true. Your trainer, margin of just that much made the difference between you being able to even come into Channel 7 this morning.
With Rough Habit, look, I could talk about Rough Habit for ages. I'll say one thing, I love the horse. Had he won yesterday, I would have been cheering as loudly as anyone else, but I'll stick with what I said earlier on. Yeah, we could go on. He's not a champion. Not by any stretch, in my opinion, certainly not a weight for age champion. By the way, he was 50 to 1 yesterday in the Cox Plate. If he's the best horse since Kingston Town, that Jim Cassidy said, he wouldn't have been 50 to 1 in the Cox Plate. That was the most... I wish Jim was here, because Jim went to Singapore yesterday.
You're in up to your neck.
Yes,
you're in up to your neck.
Just
don't go
change
under.
the subject.
David.
Do come again.
The Moonee Valley Cup, formerly run as a handicap, but now run at special weights over 2,600 metres. In 1990, the race provided the Melbourne Cup winner, Kingston Rule. And this year's victor was also destined to be among the popular elects at Flemington on the first Tuesday in November.
Goal Sovereign 500 out, under enormous pressure, 3 to Top Rating. The Phantom Chance a length away to third, then Pindy out, Pompey strike high. Glastonbury's starting to drop out. Top Rating's got to Goal Sovereign on the turn. 2 further back out, Pompey with a run now. The Phantom Chance struggling, and further back in the race, strike high. Top Rating went for home, 200 to go. Shot 3 in front now from our Pompey. He looks home, Top Rating. He's 4 in front now from our Pompey. Starstruck with a late run, very, very late, but he's well clear, Top Rating. He's down by the rider. Top Rating wins at a length and 3/4. Might be Starstruck, and nose to our Pompey for the Miners.
Winning position. Our Pompey, the dual Adelaide Cup winner, out of the pack chasing into the straight. Top Rating the leader from our Pompey. Then the Phantom Chance, but it's Top Rating well clear of our Pompey. Then the Phantom Chance and Starstruck, but Top Rating. This is a brilliant performance. Oliver sits quiet as a church mouse. Top Rating by 2 lengths. That could be the best Melbourne Cup trial of the spring. Top Rating drops 3.5 kilos to 52.5 in the Cup. And what a birthday present for David Hayes. He says this win might have been even too easy.
Probably a bit easy, to be honest. You know, he had it was just a canter round for him. I'll have to seriously look on how he pulls up, whether I give him one more race, because he's in awesome form.
Well, I've got to honour
And bookmakers reacted to Top Rating's outstanding win. He firmed to 4 to 1 second favourite for the Melbourne Cup. Vintage Crop is still the outright pick at 7 to 2.
Yeah, damage. Poetic King $6.80, one of 3 well-fancied horses for this race. Hariba $2.50, and the firm favourite Bint Masqué, $7.40. Wasn't it a super run first up at Caulfield when she equalled the track record? You got Roosland at $19.10, comes from Sydney with good form. Pretty big odds, the rest of them, but they are well credentialed. Whereas coming down the grandstand side of the track, it's Bint Masqué in front of All Our Mob. Royal Discard is up running into third placing as they're about to go over the crossing, and Carptingly just behind those. Flatside probably just in front of the 700-metre point. Hariba's worked his way to the lead. Going up on the outside, you remember, just behind them over on the inside, Legal Agent, then Roanoke Boy. Primacy ridden along a little bit, and then came Poetic King, Alishan. Just Awesome next, and then Espinosa, Magic of Money, the heavyweight. Simon Stad dropped out of it and let him ride, and down the grandstand side of the track, Bint Masqué under pressure. Royal Discard went past it, and Roosland running into it. But Hariba gave them the slip on the flat side. Hariba the leader down the grandstand side, Royal Discard. Hariba in front of Royal Discard and Carptingly. Hariba clear, Royal Discard getting to second with Carptingly, but Hariba's won it. Carptingly might have grabbed second on the line from Royal Discard, and then came Roosland. Next in Magic of Super Horse, unbeaten in 4 starts at Flemington. And just on the strength of this...
Remember, Primacy under the whip, and then Poetic King as they came towards the 200-metre mark now. Out on the grandstand side, Royal Discard going to the lead, but it's Hariba. Hariba left them dazzling on the inside. He's broken 4 lengths in front. Hariba well clear. Royal Discard leads the grandstand, but it's Hariba and Royal Discard from Carptingly. Hariba's won it on the flat side. A brilliant performance.
This was behind Poetic King. Hariba overcame a clear track bias which favoured horses on the outside rail, so there was enormous merit in this performance. As we'll...
He travelled terrific, Johnny. He bounced into the bit, travelled a little keener today than he did on the Rupert Steele, but mate, he's a champ. He's an exciting horse, isn't he? Very exciting.
Hariba 5-4 favourite, unbeaten at Flemington, and ran very fast time relative to today's conditions.
But geez, exciting Hariba, isn't he?
Oh, he's the best sprinter I've seen since Vane, Bruce. 4
Better
times...
than Placid Arc, Scalacci?
Oh, easily so.
Easily so?
Yes, no doubt. He's had 4... Now, he beats the inside horses, where it seemed to be a bit slower there. The outside brigade finished in the minor placings. He beat them by 4 lengths. Had he drawn the outside, he would have won by 8.
Well, 5. Into the gates for the Louis Vuitton McKinnon Stakes, race 6 on the card. They're filling up the gates pretty well.
Rough Habit $5.30, Reading $4, Jeune $5.40. Paris Lane is the popular elect, and it is showing $3.80 for the win. Gary, well, it's your tip. To Irish Rawdon, a half a length away. Paris Lane third the inside. Now Tenor improving, going to 4th, followed by Reading. Rough Habit getting closer. He's 4 lengths off the lead, and then came Jeune the rail. Air Seattle, Excited Angel, and 2 lengths away. Top Rating last of all. They sweep into the turn, 550 metres to go. Ballpark is being joined by Irish Rort. Tenor goes up 3 wide. There's a run for Paris Lane down on the rail, and Oliver takes it. Further out was Reading, and then came Jeune, Excited Angel, Rough Habit. Down to the 300, Paris Lane got through on the inside to take the lead. Jeune coming out after him. Tenor Reading down the outside with Rough Habit. It's Paris Lane in front, Excited Angel getting through. Tenor fighting on well, Paris Lane in front of Tenor. Excited Angel on the inside, Jeune late, but Paris Lane in front, Jeune lunging late but won't get him. Paris Lane's won it a neck to Jeune. Excited Angels run 3rd, Tenor 4th. Top Rating very much an eye catcher. See him sneaking through for 5th. Rough Habit didn't finish it off, and neither did Reading. Then Ballpark. Jeune $1.80, and Excited Angel $3.30, and you'll find that's the way they have finished 8. And surely one of the favourites for the Melbourne Cup.
One of the great runs in the race was Jeune. It pulled a little bit hard, but it certainly got home well the last little...
Paris Lane started 9-4. Of the other Cup trials, Top Rating 6th was very good. He meets Paris Lane 5 kilos better on Tuesday.
He has. Jeune, I thought, was a good run. What, do you think Jeune could win a Melbourne Cup?
No, no.
No hope?
No. won't stay 2 more.
That's why you're not riding him?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, good.
I think Paris Lane's going to be very hard to beat.
Gee, he's got a lot of horses, do you think, to beat, for Vintage Crop to beat?
I thought last week had to be Alcove and Top Rating, but I think Paris Lane is the horse I've got to beat.
I want to ask you... Top Rating and Paris Lane are the equal favourites. That's David Hayes and Lee Friedman, and Vintage Crop is the 3rd favourite on the 2nd line.
For the win, Jeune $20.20, Al Pompeii $20.60, Air Seattle $46.60, Paris Lane $7. Here That Bell, number 9 Impala $47.60, 10 Top Rating at $9.20, Double Take $82, Clifton Gale $9.30. Coachwood 53, Major Decision 80. Been ridden a treat by Darren Beedman. Then came Top Rating, Jeune was next. Quick Ransom behind them from Here That Bell. Vintage Crop around the outside, followed by Starstruck as they start to bunch up. Umpala Air Seattle back behind those. Clifton Gale still back of the tail with Major Decision and Glastonbury. Bunching right up with about 800 metres left to go in the Melbourne Cup. Toll Bell went up on the outside of Gold Sovereign to take the lead. Double Take was third around the outside, making up good ground. River Verdant, Air Seattle runs into it. Major Decision around the outside, followed by Jeune. Coachwood's in need of a run as Gold Sovereign drops out of it. Oppressor just behind them. Paris Lane, Glastonbury taken to the outside. Around the turn, many chances in the Foster's Melbourne Cup, and Oppressor is going to lead into the straight. Oppressor from Double Take. Jeune has got a dream run through in the middle. Hear That Bell running on, and here's Paris Lane and Impala. Alcove comes into it, down to the 300. Jeune skipped a length and a half in front of Paris Lane. Impala battling on, and then came Alcove. Jeune 2.5 in front. Impala running on hard the outside. Jeune's in front though, they're not going to get to him, and Jeune has won the Melbourne Cup. Jeune a length and a half, and how easy for him. Paris Lane has run second, Impala third, then Double Take followed in by Vintage Crop. Here That Bell, Alcove top rating. That Bell, Alcove top rating, Grass Valley. Further.
This is Jeune and Hear That Bell. Paris Lane staking a claim wide out around the home turn. Glastonbury very deep. When they enter the straight, Quick Ransom had got shuffled out. Cleveland Gale is well back. Vintage Crop is starting his run. Round the turn, Oppressor the leader. Coming after it, Double Take. Jeune near the inside. Wide out Alcove, and here comes Paris Lane. Paris Lane with his runners starting to mow them down, and so is Impala. Impala with a run, but Jeune hit the front. Jeune out by 2 lengths to Paris Lane. Alcove Double Take, Impala. Jeune the leader though. Jeune in front of Paris Lane. He's got a 2-length break. Impala the outside. It's Jeune still in front. He's 2 lengths clear. He's holding them, and Jeune's going to win the Melbourne Cup by 2 lengths to Paris Lane. Impala a half ahead away third. Then Double Take, Alcove.
He took the blinkers off and just left the pacifiers on him today. And if ever a guy deserved to win a race like this, it's Wayne Harris. He's had everything, this boy. He's had a brain tumour. Everything's gone wrong for him, but today he's had his moment of glory. And
he fought and won a battle against a brain tumour, and it was this day 12 months ago he was in hospital recovering from a finger amputation. He picked up the Jeune mount only after Shane Dye opted for a stablemate on Saturday. And will only be going to Japan if something goes amiss with Redding and Rough Habit. If not, it's the paddock.
At Trentham, the $250,000 Magic Millions Classic gave us a look at a young sprinter that carried the reputation of being New Zealand's best 2-year-old ever.
Racing in the Magic Millions. Slow out then was Michelob is back a bit at the jump, and another to get back as well, D Talento and Mercury of Michelob. Simply Superb's a fair way back coming up towards the corner as to D Talento. They swing the corner now, and he's in front. Our Maze K. Our Maze K straightens up about 3 to 4 lengths clear now from Magic McGinty. Kentucky back behind them. Paquin runs on. Santara out into the centres, getting home well then. Mercury Vapor. Philip Mercer working on Our Maze K, but he's 6 lengths in front of Kentucky. Further away back behind them then we've got Mercury Vapor, but Our Maze K, one of the best 2-year-olds we've ever seen in the land, draws right away, and Our Maze K's taken the Ford New Zealand Magic Millions. Mercury Vapor, Kentucky.
And Durbridge has dropped out to last. 800 metres left to go. Brawny Spirit takes the lead by a neck on Eleanor. A length and a half Scalacci on the inside of Sequalo. 2 lengths to Hurricane Sky. Ellen on the inside. Brawny Spirit by 2 lengths. Sequalo a length away then Scalacci. As they're making the home turn, 3 lengths further back. Hurricane Sky being followed by Fighter Bay. Brawny Spirit hanging off the tracker. Eleanor is the leader. Here comes Sequalo down the outside, and Scalacci just behind them as they straighten over. Eleanor's in front, coming to the 250. Led over a length. Sequalo down the outside, trying to get to Eleanor, who's rider now drew the Weber. Sequalo coming at Eleanor in the final stages. Eleanor is still in front. He's holding in second place Sequalo, and Scalacci, the great Ray. Look at Scalacci. Scalacci's going to win it. Scalacci grabbed the lead. Scalacci by a half a length in the Rubiton to Eleanor. Third Sequalo. They're followed by Fighter Bay, Hurricane.
Gelding. At the 200, Ellen on a neck in front. Sequalo slowly but surely starting to come after him. And Scalacci poking back in the middle. Ellen on just in front of Scalacci, making a late lunge. Ellen on in front. Scalacci's going to get up. He's grabbed them, the grey. Yes, Scalacci.
That's 15 wins from 28 starts for Scalacci. Ridden by Pat Payne, the Speed Machine started at 9 to 2. Second, Al-Anon at 7s.
This is the big one, the clash of Hariba, the short-priced favourite against the old champ Scalacci. Here are the approximate tote dividends. Scalacci showing at $6, might even get out a fraction to about $6.50. Runner-up in the 50. Runner-up in the Melbourne Cup, might find it a little short at $12. Hariba between about $1.80 and $1.70 now on the Victorian TAB. Sequalo paying $7. Just about all in now. Time for us to go to Flemington to our caller, John Russell.
Scalacci's gone up. He's first up 2 divisions as they race down with 850 metres left to go, and down the flat side. Hariba is well clear down there by about 3 lengths to Durbridge. Close up behind the Primacy, a length and a half. Paris Lane followed by Alcova, and over on the grandstand side, Sequalo is the leader out there from Scalacci, and just in behind them, Bells of her Spanish Mix coming into the picture. Blue Boss is in behind them, followed by Never Under Charge. They come down to the course proper. 500 metres left to go, and Hariba travelling sweetly down on the inside, led 4 lengths to Primacy, 4 lengths away Durbridge. Down the grandstand side, Sequalo is leading with Scalacci tackling him, and Spanish Mix is in behind them as they come to the 250. Hariba over on the inside is clear down there. Down the grandstand side, it's Sequalo and Scalacci, but Hariba's all on his own. He's going to bolt in, Hariba. He's a champion. Hariba will bolt in. He wins by 6 lengths. Spanish Mix is second, Scalacci third. Fourth home, Sequalo, followed by Primacy. Belzever, blue.
Down the grandstand rail, and Scalacci under a good hole goes up to Sequalo. 2 to Spanish Mix, and they're clear now. Blue Boss and Belzever. Hariba over on the flat side, and down the outside, Sequalo and Scalacci, and running on Spanish Mix. Hariba over on the fence in front. Yes, it's Hariba over on the inside. He explodes, Hariba. 5, 6 in front. Spanish Mix, Sequalo and Scalacci, but Hariba a world beater. Hariba wins the race by 5 lengths.
It's Hariba the leader, I think, at the 300. Marshall says, let's go, big fella. And Hariba the leader over on the flat side, nicely clear. It's Hariba well in front of Sequalo and Scalacci, but Hariba passes 100, a dazzling performance, a mile in front. And the brilliant Hariba scores brilliantly by 5. Spanish Mix, Scalacci just got third from Sequalo.
Mere words failed to do Hariba's win justice. The outside section of the Flemington track was definitely faster. Yet Hariba came along the inside rail and absolutely destroyed his opposition with an exhibition of power sprinting that will live long in the memories of those fortunate enough to witness it. The acknowledged ratings expert Mark Reed claims this was the highest rating performance by any thoroughbred in Australia in almost a decade, matched only by our international champion Better Loosen Up in the 1991 Australian Cup.
Well, it was the rebirth of another champion here. Hariba is the best sprinter since Vane and Manikato. Here he is. Bearing in mind, this is the best field assembled in Australia. For years, collectively, the 11 runners had won $12 million in stakes and won 26 Group 1 races. Now, there's Hariba yesterday quoting someone as a definition of a champion being a great horse who demoralises and thrashes other great horses. Well, surely this is a living example of it. This is the best sprinter we've seen for years. He runs 1/10 of a second outside the record after being eased down. He wins by 5.5 lengths. Swap the sides of the straight, he would have shattered the record. Ridden out totally, he would have beaten the record. That's a sight that you won't forget in racing for a long time. Straight in that Mahogany is the only horse that he's ever ridden that you could have your house on first up.
Now, he will meet Hariba first up in the Lightning Stakes. Could he beat him?
I'll bet your house, not mine.
What do you think, Max?
It's a matter of price, Bruce. I don't know whether any horse could beat Hariba, but nevertheless, Hariba at 2's on, Mahogany at 5 to 1. I know where my money will be, but then again, I'm a little bit prejudiced when it comes to Mahogany over short courses.
The club tie.
Now, this is a star-studded field contesting today's CF4 Stakes. One of the best I've seen in the history of the race. CF4, line good, they're off. And Hurricane Sky jump well, and Jern missed the start by a length, and was our Pompeii coming down the side. Blue the inside, a length and a half further back. Paris Lane followed by Jern, Oppressor, Innocent King, and our Pompeii is last of all. Coming up to the 600-metre mark, and Blue Boss travelling along nicely in the leader. Led over a length to Hurricane Sky, being followed by Primacy. Scalacci's getting a lovely run on the inside. Just behind them, Bells of Her. They're followed by Never Under Charge. Paris Lane back behind them. Jern as they straighten up. 400 to go. The leader is Blue Boss. On the outside, Hurricane Sky and Scalacci getting in the clear. Is starting to run home very well as they come down to the 200. Hurricane Sky is coming at Blue Boss, and Scalacci got chopped off at that point and Never Under Charge. And Jern down the outside is going to beat them all. It's swamping them. Jern hit the front. Jern has raced away to a convincing win. The Melbourne Cup winner of last year wins the CF4 brilliantly. Jern is first. Hurricane Sky or Scalacci in a photo for second and third, followed by Blue Boss. Back behind by Blue Boss. Back behind them, Never Under Charge, Paris Lane, Innocent King, Bells of Ver.
This afternoon smashed the track record.
Jeune got off the fence, Paris Lane on his outside. Blue Boss at the 300, about a length in front. Scalacci trying desperately to get out of a pocket. Hurricane Sky racing up to Blue Boss. Scalacci chopped out of it, then never under charge. Here's Jeune. Here's Jeune descending on them very quickly. The Cup winner raced to the front of the last 100, racing away from Hurricane Sky. Then came Scalacci, but it's all Jeune. And Jeune returns to the track brilliantly by 3 lengths. Further the minus Hurricane Sky or Scalacci.
A stunning
record-winning return by Jeune, joining Comic Court, At Talac and Let's Elope, who'd won the Melbourne Cup and then the Orr Stakes.
He showed again today what a good horse he is, and
Jeune may not start again until the Australian Cup. Scalacci was a shade unlucky. Hurricane Sky
Stakes, and in the last 2 weeks we've seen Hariba absolutely brilliant at Flemington and Jeune brilliant at Sandown, and suddenly Keith Hillier, there is some excitement in the weight for age ranks. We've all been pretty... See you again, and one of the interesting things about Jeune...
Gentlemen, you're getting carried away again. That, of course, was Jeune at his best, and I do congratulate David Hayes in getting the best out of this English bull.
You don't want to back Paris Lane to beat Jeune next start, do you?
Oh, no way. Nothing will beat Jeune next start if he reproduces that.
Of course. You poor clowns. You'll be laying odds on. The horse will come out of the barriers 5 lengths last, and there'll be Paris Lane sitting in the box seat at about 5 to 1. Sure, I want to back Paris Lane.
I tell you what, off and running in the Guineas, Dry still last of all. Singer Blevik and Barishnikov is last of all as they come around the home turner. 500 metres left to go. Hurricane Sky moving up on the outside to Tackleson. Covered is still the leader as they set sail for Homer. And they're clear from Don Pasquale coming down the outside. Dry Humour back behind them, Barishnikov. And then Dennis Singer and Blevik's a long way back as they come to the 250. Hurricane Sky is joining St Covered as they come down past the 200. Hurricane Sky and Don Pasquale is down the outside, and Barishnikov is finishing very fast along the inside. St Covered tackled by Hurricane Sky, and Barishnikov on the inside finishing solidly. Barishnikov on the inside takes a slight lead. Barishnikov has won the Guineas from Hurricane Sky, ahead away third St Covered. Fourth home, Don Pasquale.
Leader, Hurricane Sky up to challenge him at the 400-metre mark. Wider out, Don Pasquale. And then Dry Humour, Barishnikov. And Blevik is last of all with 250 to go. St Covered and Hurricane Sky, the leaders. Barishnikov going for the rail, and Don Pasquale. St Covered and Hurricane Sky being tackled on the rail by Barishnikov. Barishnikov, St Covered, Hurricane Sky. A line of 3. Barishnikov, Hurricane Sky. Barishnikov got up on the rail and has won it from Hurricane Sky. And those away third is St Covered.
And inspired.
Well, next race in the Autumn Stakes, and Alistair Clark before returning to Sydney for the Rosehill Guineas and Derby.
I joked last week with you, Max, about Mahogany. I'd give him just a mad chance. I think he's too short at 9 to 2. He's probably an 8 or 10 to 1 chance, but he is brilliant first up.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly going to have my money on him. I'm not saying he's a good...
Side deeper out, Sequalo and Hariba 4 deep on their outside. Just about a line of 4 right across the track there. Eleanor in behind them from Fighter Bay. Then Mahogany, and last of all as they settle fully into stride, Auntie Mary. Running to the 500-metre mark now. Hariba under a tight rein has gone up to join Sequalo, Keltrice, Brawny Spirit on the rail. 2 lengths behind them, then Aladdin called on, and they're followed then by Mahogany under a bit of pressure at the 300-metre mark now. And it's on the outside, Hariba. He's calling on him to do something, sticking with him there. On the outside is Aladdin. In fact, he's in trouble, Hariba. Aladdin's claimed him, and Mahogany now. And Keltrice fighting back. No, Hariba. It's a shock. It's Mahogany dashing to the front, and Mahogany scores. Mahogany's beaten Aladdin. Third is Keltrice.
A sensation.
Alanon, Hariba's under pressure. He's under pressure now as Alanon goes up to Hariba, who's struggling. And here comes Mahogany down the outside. Alanon in front. Mahogany's got them. Mahogany's hit the front of the horse of the years. Come home to win. Mahogany first up.
Resuming from a spell, a great win by Mahogany, which started at 11 to 2. Second, Alanon at 20s, and third...
But none for Lee. He fixed that in the right race.
If you know what a jockey's feeling is on a horse in a race of that calibre, with 200 metres to go, you got no idea how hard he was trying to win and how much ground he was trying to reach for. You know, and that's the sign of a champion horse. I hadn't had too many horses do that.
Hariba's loss, though, remained a mystery, even some time after the race. The club's vet reported...
You'll get beat, you know, one day. You know, we'll come back again.
Summing up the thoughts of everyone on dismounting.
He got a bit of class.
Good animal, isn't it?
Win any race in the Williams.
To win in Lightning Stakes, you know, with the horse that's won 2 derbies, and to beat the best sprinters around, and you know, Hariba, and that he had to be the champion that he is, and he showed that today.
Surprisingly,
he's a great first-up horse.
Come on, Mahogany versus Jeune, and maybe Hariba in the Futurity. Who are you going for?
I think I'd have to stick with
Mahogany.
Mahogany. You turn, Cat. You turn, Cat.
He's never started. Mercedes-Benz Blue Diamond Stakes. We've got time for another quick tote call. Number 1 Padre is still at 14. 7-2 Solid Flying Spur, now challenging for favouritism. 7-1 Shaded from Sydney. Zedrich is showing $4.10, just over to 1. Principality showing $11.
Stand by for a start.
Way back again, hanging around the home turn, and then Principality, Donut, Tuscany Flyer, led 2 lengths into the straight. Zedrich had to check across his heels, comes out after him now. Tennessee Magic running a good race, and then Padre, and further back Principality, Flying Spur, Tuscany Flyer in front. Zedrich coming at him, Tuscany Flyer from Zedrich. Here's Principality. Principality swamping Tuscany Flyer, and Principality drives away. Principality bolts in. Second with the Flying Spur. I think Tuscany Flyer just held third in a photo.
Perfection.
It's Tuscany Flyer in front. Here's Principality from last. Principality storming home from last in the field. He'll win the Diamond. Principality
started at 8s. Second, the favourite, Flying Spur at 13-4.
Said to me, this could be the race of the season. It's the Futurity Stakes. Number 1 is Jearn, showing exactly $2.90 now on the tote. Odds of about 15-8. Scalacci, one of the Freedman runners, is at 11-2. 40 charge, $2.80. Odds of about 7-4. Mahogany. Trained
racing, and the first to jump Spencer, and Jearn is last of all. That's the order, 650 metres out. Scalacci making play, led nearly a length on Mahogany. A half a length around the outside, never under charges going forward, being followed by Snap, who's getting a beautiful run on the inside. Close in behind the making ground Spanish Mix there, followed by Pride of Rancho, Soho Square. Jearn is still last of all as they round the home turn. Mahogany's ranged up on the outside to tackle Scalacci as they set sail for home. Jearn is a mile back down the outside, never under charge. Mahogany's hit the front. Scalacci battling on well, followed by Spanish Mix, and back behind them Snapper's coming home well. It's Scalacci. Scalacci's fighting back gallantly on the inside. Scalacci's hit the front close to home. Scalacci hangs on. Jearn flew for second. Scalacci from Jearn. Mahogany, I think, third, just ahead of Spanish Mix. Never under charge. Snap behind them. Soho's.
And Mahogany up level now with Scalacci around the turn, never under charge behind them. Then Spanish Mix and Snap and Jearn spotting Mahogany 5. At the top of the straight now, Dittman goes for Mahogany. Scalacci sticks on very gamely. It's Mahogany about a neck in front. Scalacci's fighting back. Scalacci again with his head in front of Mahogany. Wider out, then Spanish Mix and Jearn. It's Scalacci in front of Mahogany. Jearn motoring, but Scalacci's won it again. Scalacci's won it. I think Jearn got second from Mahogany in a photo.
This was one of racing's most emotional moments in season 94-95. Scalacci had been a Group 1 competitor now for 4 successive seasons.
Yes, and he fell into 4th place today. Scalacci delighting the big crowd. Jearn, the eye-catching Australian Cup run.
$2.80 each of 2 for St Covert and Hurricane Sky. Interesting to hear Brendan saying... And
Select field of 3-year-olds over the 1,800 metres. St Covert's had it his own way out in front. He's 3/4 now, maybe a half in front. Hurricane Sky edging a little bit closer. One away, Punctual Hard ridden. The Golden Greek coming into it very strongly, and Baryshnikov waiting on the fence. Coming up towards the turn, Hurricane Sky got up level with St Covert, and these 2 good 3-year-olds come round the bend together. The Golden Greek threatening on their outside. Baryshnikov waiting as he did in the Guineas. Hurricane Sky and St Covert down towards the 200 together. 1.5 Baryshnikov, the Golden Greek, but Hurricane Sky is the leader. St Covert sticks on gamely. Baryshnikov can't reach them at the moment. Hurricane Sky in front of St Covert. Baryshnikov. Hurricane Sky, St Covert, a drive to the line, a beauty. Hurricane Sky in the centre's one at a nose. Hurricane Sky from St Covert and Baryshnikov, a fantastic finish. Ramley running on for 4.
From either St Covert or Baryshnikov.
A terrific ride by Simon Marshall, and trainer Gerald Ryan will now set Hurricane Sky for the Alistair Clark in a 4th.
Punters on course all think that he is unbeatable. Ken Biggers. Old Marvel is at 6.5 to 1. Jearn at 2's on, $1.50 for $1 on the tote. Star Dancer getting out on the tote to about 9 to 1. Similar price in the betting ring. He's got a good chance. And Starstruck, the Miller family horse, is showing $18 on the TA.
To a press start, to a press away. And Innocent King approaching the home turn. 700 metres left to go, and Solbert has dashed away. Solbert about 4 lengths to our Pompeii, half a length away, moving up on the outside, Durbridger. And then came Station Hand finishing on, and they're followed by the Fantablet of the others as they pack up a little as they come into the straight with about 450 metres left to go. Solbert near the inside, about to be tackled by Durbridge, who's come with a big run down the outside, and Durbridge has taken the lead. Now here comes Jearn from a long way back and winding his run as they come to the 300. Durbridge is the leader from Station Hand, Starstruck, and Jern, the mighty Jern, coming down the outside with a tremendous burst of speed as they come past the 200. Station Hand, the leader, Starstruck, and Jern is now under pressure. The Western Australian mare, Starstruck, has taken the lead with 100 to go. Jern is trying hard. Starstruck in front of Jern. Starstruck wins the cup from Jern. Station Hand is third. Fourth home is Durbridge, followed by Star Dancer.
The 400, Solve It punctured. Durbridge went straight past him. Durbridge in front now. Station Hand issues the threat. And 3 lengths back is Zernig starting to come with Starstruck. Station Hand and Durbridge at the 200. Lead 2 lengths to Starstruck and Jern, who are closing. Now Starstruck hits the front. Starstruck in the centre of the leader from Jern, Station Hand. Jern coming after Starstruck. Starstruck, Jern, a bobbing go. Starstruck has won it.
This surely was one of the upsets of the year, with the good Western Australian head.
Starstruck has won it.
12 months.
So, a real ladies' day. Gay having won the Newmarket, and Kay Miller, the trainer of Starstruck. Ironically, Gay originally...
The run of the race, the only excuse you could put up, Bruce, that he went in a little underprepared with 2 1400-metre runs under here.
Here is 3UZ's Brian Martin.
And Blevik has hit the front now. He drew a half length in front of Hurricane Sky, a length further back, Baryshnikov. It's Blevik, the leader. On the outside, Baryshnikov starting to close. He's calling on Blevik. Baryshnikov coming at him. Blevik is answering, no, Blevik knows Baryshnikov.
The outstanding colt will now...
Both hard at work, Dittman and Marshall. It's Blevik about a neck in front of Hurricane Sky. Baryshnikov closing at every stride now. Blevik the leader at the 100. Half a length, Baryshnikov answering the whip now. It's Baryshnikov and Blevik at road to the line. Blevik has won it.
Mick Dittman simply outrode them. Blevik back to his best. Blevik retaining the race at 11 to 8, beating Baryshnikov. The pair will clash in Sydney.
Major event being the semi-classic Canterbury Guineas. The short-priced favourite was Danewin, who had won his first 2 runs back at 1200 and 1400 metres for Shane Dye. For the Guineas, the Hong Kong rider Jackie Shea was back in town.
It's St Covered and Stony Bay. Danewin, 3 deep, is now looming up, and Persian Flyer right around the outside, followed by Allegro and Perfect World. In the straight, the leader Stony Bay, tackled by Danewin and Persian Flyer. Persian Flyer on the outside is running the race of his life. Persian Flyer coming at Danewin. Look at Shah's K down the outside. He's coming home right over the top of them, Shah's K. Shah's K went past those leaders like they were tied to the fence at any old odds. Shah's K in the boil over wins the Guineas. In the straight, the leader Stony Bay, tackled by Danewin and Persian Flyer. Persian Flyer on the outside is running the race of his life. Persian Flyer coming at Danewin. Look at Shah's K down the outside. He's coming home right over the top of them, Shah's K. Shah's K went past those leaders like they were tied to the fence at any old odds. Shah's K in the boil over wins the Guineas.
A huge upset result here, with everyone bar the connections of rank outsider Shaskay reduced to...
Danewin.
Following week at Rosehill, our Maze K backed up in the Todman Slipper trial. But leading Sydney trainer John Hawkes had another surprise waiting for the Kiwi Flyer.
Into the straight, Shaded and Tuscany Flyer, the 2 leaders, and they straighten up well clear of our Maze K. Exclusive Halo under the whip, followed by Zephyrs, who'll want to shake a leg, and then Octagonal pull to the extreme outside and starting to wind up at the 200. Tuscany Flyer headed Shaded. Here's the big bloke from the Shaky Isles, our Maze K, and Octagonal on the extreme outside, but our Maze K the leader. Octagonal cutting him down with every stride. Octagonal coming home the better and got there on the line.
Octagonal's win attracted rave reviews, with veteran racing men unable to recall such an inexperienced 2-year-old turning in a performance of that calibre.
On top. Back. On the side, Ladies Way, followed by Aragen and Arborea. Flitter second last and ridden along, and Auntie Mary is last. Says Door, the leader, over Verocative, 2 lengths away to Lander, and then Centile, Moment's Pleasure, 1 off the fence, gets a chance today, followed closely by Viminaria as they turn for home. Northwood Plume is trying to angle off the rail. Light Up the World on the outside, flat to the boards, but is running on gamely. In the straight, 300 out, Princess Door, Verocative, to Lander joining in with Moment's Pleasure on the extreme outside, followed by Centile. Light Up the World is running on very gamely. Moment's Pleasure and Talander are fighting it out. Flitter on the fence is about to fly, and his Aragen jumping out of the ground. Moment's Pleasure, Talander. Aragen is lunging. Flitter got right through on the fence, and Flitter got up to win the Winfield by a breath from either Aragen or Moment's Pleasure.
trying to angle off the rail. Light Up the World on the outside, flat to the boards, but is running on gamely. In the straight, 300 out, Princess Door, Voracative, Talander joining in with Moment's Pleasure on the extreme outside, followed by Centile. Light Up the World is running on very gamely. Moment's Pleasure and Talander are fighting it out. Flitter on the fence is about to fly, and his Aragen jumping out of the ground. Moment's Pleasure, Talander, Aragen is lunging. Flitter got right through on the fence, and Flitter got up to win the Winfield by a breath from either Aragen or Moment's Pleasure.
This group...
He gets the prize. She'll pay $10 for the win and $2.90 for the place.
Gee, Flitter was a run yesterday, wasn't she? Coming from what seemed to be a hopeless position in the Winfield Classic. She was second last. We're out of time, so we've got to run through this quickly. Is Strategic value at 2-1 max?
Yes.
At one stage after Millrich to even 6-4, but out to 2-1. Our Maze K has held his position. Octagonal is 4-1, and Rivard...
The barrier draw threw the betting markets into further disarray when Strategic and Our Maze K drew the two outside barriers. With
to $4.50 on the tote now. Our Maze K really big odds on the tote at $12. Octagonal is paying $5.50. Number 4, Prince of $7, just getting out on the tote a little. Flying Spur at $21, Danny Boy at $17 on $8.
On the slipper, and Strategic and Our Maze K on the extreme outside are away brilliantly over Rustic Lady. Millrich is scooting through and is going to lead. Shaded showing plenty of early dash, followed by Zephyrs and then Tuscany Flyer. Kidman's Cove, Zedrich on the fence in a pretty handy spot. Rivada's behind a big bunch of leaders in the early stages. Further back, Exclusive Halo. Strategic now goes back to be midfield, coming around the first turn, followed by Flying Spur. At the head of the others, Rustic Lady, then Octagonal, Principality, and last of all is Furacao. 700 out, Shaded got to the lead over Our Maze K. A length away, Daney Boy. Zephyrs off the track. Millrich on the fence, followed by Tuscany Flyer. Then Kidman's Cove. Rivada's in the middle of the pack as they come around the turn. Zedrich on the fence with nowhere to go, followed by Exclusive Halo. And Strategic is carted at least 8 wide on the turn into the straight. Our Maze K cantered to the lead, straightening up. Our Maze K is clear by more than a length to Millrich, who's going after him. Zedrich is bullocking into the clear, followed by Flying Spur and Kidman's Cove. Our Maze K clear with 100 to go. Millrich, the filly, is coming after him quickly and getting between them. Flying Spur, and look at Octagonal jumping out of the ground. Flying Spur hit the front. Flying Spur wins the slipper. Flying Spur for Glenn Boss over Octagonal, which jumped out of the ground. Millrich is going after him. Zedrich is bullocking into the clear, followed by Flying Spur and Kidman's Cove. Our Maze K clear with 100 to go. Millrich, the filly, is coming after him quickly and getting between them. Flying Spur, and look at Octagonal jumping out of the ground. Flying Spur hit the front. Flying Spur wins the slipper. Flying Spur for Glenn Boss over Octagonal, which jumped out of the ground. Third's either Millrich or Our Maze K. Zedrich is also close up, followed by Prince of
Glenn Boss, I should say.
I don't think it would have ridden it, Ken.
And 3 slippers in a row to Lee Friedman as Flying Spur, who'll pay $22.40 on the tote and $6.20.
I'll say it's just no thrill.
Yeah, well, last night he never had a ride in the slipper. Jimmy Cassidy got disqualified for 6 months, and his misfortune was Glenn Boss's good fortune. He got the ride on Flying Spur, and he gave Lee Friedman his 3rd successive slipper, having won with Dan as he was ridden quietly back from one alley.
The John Hawkes trained Octagonal with Millrich 3rd, and while Friedman, the John Hawkes trained Octagonal with Millrich 3rd.
There were 3 fantastic runs outside of the winner, Octagonal, Strategic, and Our Maze K. They were brilliant. And what might come out of this slipper that I don't think has in recent years, we might see 3 or 4 horses that go on to be top-class older horses.
Yeah, sure, look.
Okay, there's the favourite, Dane Win, Jackie Che from Hong Kong. What a moment for him. In Hong Kong, into $9. Stony Bay showing now at $5.50. Getting out, everyone's doubtful about him on the heavy track, and that's why he's blown a little bit. $2.30 now for Dane Win, more in line with his price in the betting ring. Number 4, Barishnikov at $11. Do is out to $11. He won the Gosford Guineas in the wet. Irish likes dead tracks. He's at $12.
But the first out, Persian Fly, the 1100 mark, Stony Bay, taken on now by Barishnikov on the outside, who's serving it up to him, and Barishnikov takes a narrow lead over Stony Bay. 2.5 to Persian Flyer. Dane Win is 4th on the fence. Fewer chosen, endangered species. 700 out as they near the turn. Again, Stony Bay drew clear of Persian Flyer. Dane Win on the fence, followed by Fewer chosen. Barishnikov dropping off quickly. Then Ivory's Irish, followed by Blevik, who's strung up for a moment near the fence. Further back as they come around the turn, Ram Lee Lee, followed by Turradoo and River Ruin. Into the straight, Stony Bay, allowed to drift out about 4 off the fences, well clear. Now Jackie Chair's not going to bother about the cutaway. He's come to the outside on Dane Win, and look at Blevick getting up inside the pair of them, and Ivory's Irish further out. What a race in the Derby. At the 200, it's Blevick, Dane Win, Ivory's Irish, Stony Bay's gone. Blevick, Dane Win, Ivory's Irish on the outside. Dane Win and Ivory's Irish have come away. They're going to fight it out. Ivory's Irish and Dane Win, they're both pretty tight as they come to the line. Ivory's Irish won the Derby. A terrific performance by a head to Dane Win. Now Blevick will be third, I think, in front of Ram Lee. Dane Win and Ivory's Irish have come away. They're going to fight it out. Ivory's Irish and Dane Win, they're both pretty tight as they come to the line. Ivory's Irish won the Derby. A terrific performance by a head to Dane Win.
A courageous. Officially first in the Derby. Dane Win, as he was in the Victoria Derby, officially second. And with the winner now is our Clerk of the...
The Brilliant Octagonal was widely regarded as unlucky in the Golden Slipper Stakes, and this son of Cambridge stud's New Stallion Zabeel was favoured to make amends in the AJC Sires Produce Stakes.
To the turn, Exclusive Halo is just the leader. Zedrich going up to almost join him on the turn. On the fence, Arasi as they straighten up, followed by Martinets, and then Burrito, and Strategic has now popped the big question as they come over the rise, and his Octagonal taken to the extreme outside. Coming to the 200 mark, and Zedrich is just the leader from Exclusive Halo. Here they come now, Strategic, Octagonal, and Show of Force. Little Show of Force is squeezing through in the centre. Show of Force and Octagonal hit the lead from Strategic. Show of Force and Octagonal. Isolde coming late on the inside as they hit the line. Octagonal, Isolde. Isolde has lunged and right on the line. Might have got up to beat Octagonal, but there's little question as they come over the rise. And his Octagonal taken to the extreme outside. Coming to the 200 mark, and Zedrich is just the leader from Exclusive Halo. Here they come now, Strategic, Octagonal, and Show of Force. Little Show of Force is squeezing through in the centre. Show of Force and Octagonal hit the lead from Strategic. Show of Force and Octagonal. Isolde coming late on the inside as they hit the line. Octagonal, Isolde. Isolde has lunged and right on the line. Might have got up to beat Octagonal, but there's little in it.
A fitting compensation for Octagonal, who appeals as the 2-year-old colt most likely to train on next season. Octagonal.
After his hard campaign, and I think Gary Willis was pretty happy with Jearn.
Oh, Jearn looked magnificent. I know.
But Durbridge, on the other hand, has come in from $21 to $17. Jearn out to 2 to 1, still favourite. Or as I speak, I notice he's back into $2.90. They can't make up. No, TAB number 6 is out of point to $9.50. Calm Harbour, TAB number 7, is at 11. Dane Win showing at $4.50, and he might firm a fraction.
Is coming over to release the field in the Cathay Pacific Queen Elizabeth. A half to Telesto as they come to the crossing. Durbridge the leader. Lamour got to second. Third, Dane Win on the outside of All Our Mob, followed by Pharaoh. 3 deep, Mapperley Star on the fence. Sky Watch being pushed along, followed by March Hare, who's about 7 off the lead. Further back, Rough Habit, Jearn on the fence. A gap to Salcantay, Voting and Telesto, and something's gone amiss with Calm Harbour. He's dropped out. A distant last. Into the straight in the Queen Elizabeth. Durbridge the leader in the Queen Elizabeth. Durbridge the leader over Lamour. In third place, Dane Win, who gets his chance, followed by All Our Mob, then Sky Watch, Pharaoh, Mapperley Star, and March Hare to the extreme outside as they come over the rise. Durbridge still in front at the 200. Dane Win is about to go after him. All Our Mob on the inside is running a hell of a race, and here's Jearn coming out of the pack now, past the 150 mark. All Our Mob tackled by Dane Win and Jearn. Jearn headed Dane Win close to home. Jearn drawing away. Oh, he's a better horse at Randwick. Look at him go now. Jearn draws away to beat Dane Win. March Hare third. This All Our Mob, then Sky Watch, Pharaoh, Mapperley Star, and March Hare to the extreme outside as they come over the rise. Durbridge still in front at the 200. Dane Win is about to go after him. All Our Mob on the inside is running a hell of a race, and here's Jearn coming out of the pack now, past the 150 mark. All Our Mob tackled by Dane Win and Jearn. Jearn headed Dane Win close to home. Jearn drawing away. Oh, he's a better horse at Randwick. Look at him go now. Jearn draws away to beat Dane Win. March Hare third. March Hare third, followed by All Our Mob, who ran a good race, and then Sky Watch from Mapperley Star. Vote.
2 good Jearn and a brilliant ride by Wayne Harris.
During your carnival, we brought together some of the very best horses, and I guess
that were made to order for him. There was going to be a lot of pace up front. The track had that sting out of it, and Jearn is a damn good horse, but he's not a great horse. He can't make his own circumstances. If you get the race...
Great, he's certainly the best around. He's had 11 runs at Group 1 level for 4 wins, 6 seconds, and the Cox Plate was his only unplaced run. he definitely clinched the Horse of the Year title yesterday.
Yes, I can't argue with that, Keith. Here as Dane Wynn seems to have every chance, goes up to the lead encouragingly, but when Jearn, who's been doing it very easily all the way, puts his claim in, Dane Wynn hasn't got an answer. Bobby Thompson, I feel, still is of the opinion that Jackie Che doesn't get the best out of Dane Wynn, but I couldn't criticise his performance yesterday.
But C. Winnie put in the race of the day, coming from the back of the field to win the Foster's Cup at Doomben ahead of Hot to Race and Scalacci.
Look at C. Winnie, she's coming from nowhere. It's Hot to Race, Scalacci. C. Winnie is rocketing down the outside. Will she get up? Oh, I don't know.
To Morfettville, but C. Winnie put in the race of the day, coming from the back of the field to win the Foster's Cup at Doomben ahead of Hot to Race and Scalacci.
Look at C. Winnie, she's coming from nowhere. It's Hot to Race, Scalacci. C. Winnie is rocketing down the outside. Will she get up? Oh, I don't know.
To Morfettville.
I think Scalacci was unlucky in this race yesterday, mainly because of the track, but let's not sit here and talk too much about Scalacci. Let's give credit to this mare, C. Winnie, and her performance yesterday was just super, because
one in terms of overall quality. But the Doomben 10,000 was a crackerjack lineup. Punters put their money behind the Doomben specialist, Chief De Beers, a winner of 8 races at the track. And he
updated market on the radio today. All our mob, and there's a lot of people here at Rose Hill would love to see this horse win. Down to C. Winnie at 6.5, Ruslan at 8, Chief De Beers at 11-4, no change there.
The 700 metres mark, and it's Bulldog Yates and Neck Hot to Race, racing third on the outside. Then is Gold Cup, followed by All Our Mob Cohort. Chief De Beers is getting a lovely run. Further back is So Keen, followed by Jack's or Better, Legal Agent, Magic of Money, another Victor, and C. Winnie heads a turn for home, and Dipman took off on Chief De Beers. He went up with All Our Mob to take the lead, followed by Bulldog Yates and Hot to Race, but Chief De Beers exploded away. He's got the race one, I'd say. He's 2.5 All Our Mob, then Cohort, So Keen next, and Bulldog Yates, but it's all Chief De Beers. He's annihilating them in the 10,000, and Chief De Beers went home to win brilliantly. All Our Mob is second, third Cohort, then came Gold Cup, C. Winnie, So Keen, Ruslan, Dog Yates, followed by Pride.
Followed by My Red Sense, So Keen, and then Legal Agent and Ruslan, and C. Winnie is giving them a mile start. In the straight now, 300 metres to go, and Mick said, let's go on the Chief, and he's raced away from them. Chief De Beers put a gap in them at the 200. He's 4 lengths in front. The 10,000 is all over. The Chief is streaking away from them. He's going to win easily. All Our Mob holding down second, then Cohort, but what a win. Chief De Beers by 4 lengths.
This was a truly explosive performance that ranks second only to Hariba's victory in the Australia Stakes as the most dominating Group 1 victory of the season.
Him right up there on top, Bruce, and I think I've called about 15 Doomben 10,000s now, but his win yesterday was just spectacular, and of course being a Queenslander added a little bit more to it. At the 250 metre point, he's gone about 3 in front of All Our Mob. Cohort running up into third place. C. Winnie and Gold Cup on the outside making ground, but this is the easiest win we've ever seen in a Doomben 10,000. It's the fastest time-wise since the metrics were introduced, and bear in mind it was run on...
Winning 8 races and never being unplaced in 16 starts.
Compliment sensational, and the biggest thrill came late in the day when Rough Habit Bruce yesterday won his 29th race. He did it with 58 kilos. He did it from an outside alley, and the crowd loved it. Now, this is the horse that's obviously
celebrating, I'll tell you that.
Your best ever, Wayne. Here we go.
Darcher's next on the outside of Way. Consoldo Show, Darcher outside of Way. Kikamuka, Nasser Rich, and then Air Seattle and Cross Swords. Protara's Bay giving the leaders quite a start. Then Desert Chill on the inside of Nasser Rose. Then Rough Habit Sapio. Well back in the field is Dark Czar, and then Spiritual Star and Military Supreme. Heading for the judge now, 400 metres out. Oppressor has moved up on the outside of Fewer Chosen. Stay Tuned is a length and a half away third. Then Pindy and Waikikamuka. And Rough Habit is coming through the field. They've got 200 metres to go. Oppressor is the leader. Here he comes. Here comes Rough Habit, the old Kiwi warhorse. You little beauty. Keep him going, Shane. Rough Habit is racing away to win the O'Shea Stakes. What a win. Rough Habit Habit first, second Oppressor, and third Desert Chill, then Dark Zara, and then Spiritual Star and Military Supreme. Heading for the judge now, 400 metres out. Oppressor has moved up on the outside of Few Chosen. Stay Tuned is a length and a half away third, then Pindy and Waikikamu Cow, and Rough Habit is coming through the field. They've got 200 metres to go. Oppressor is the leader. Here he comes. Here comes Rough Habit, the old Kiwi warhorse. You little beauty, keep him going, Shane. Rough Habit is racing away to win the O'Shea Stakes. What a win! Rough Habit first, second Oppressor, and third Desert Chill, then Pratara's Bay.
Well, started to roar at the 200-metre point. You could just feel Eagle Farm starting to lift from the ground, and it was one of the most exciting moments I've experienced in race calling.
Shane, Rough Habit is racing away to win the O'Shea Stakes. What a win! Rough Habit first, second Oppressor, and third Desert Chill, then Pratara's Bay.
Well, started to roar at the 200-metre point. You could just feel Eagle Farm starting to lift from the ground, and it was one of the most exciting moments I've experienced in race calling.